morning, PotCoins. Today is Sunday, 3 May 2015. We are currently on block 76, 87, 52 of the Pot chain. Here's what's been going on this week. It seems like Pot Labs have officially taken over PotCoin. The biggest thing I've noticed this week is that the link to the mobile wallet on potcoin.com redirects you to potwallet.com, which is the web wallet that works, instead of going to wallet.potcoin.com, which still doesn't work. For anyone unfamiliar with the mobile wallets, PotCoin Systems was in charge of wallet.potcoin.com, and they were the ones to set up the official site. Their wallet has been down for about 2 months now. Pot Labs created potwallet.com. They've ran into a few problems, but they've always been resolved in a timely manner. Now that Pot Labs is running the official site, they've switched to make their wallet the official one. There are still a bunch of people with coins stuck on the old mobile wallet. Hopefully this issue can be resolved, but maybe it never will. And as much as that would suck, shit happens. The best wallet is the PotCoin Electrum desktop wallet. It doesn't require downloading the entire Pot chain, and it's really fast. And even if you're worried that the servers that handle the Electrum wallet go down, you can still get your private keys, so you would be able to import them to the Qt client in a worst case scenario. The Qt client is the most reliable, but for a first-time user, it takes way too long to sync in the initial setup. Anywhere from 5 hours if you're lucky to a few days if your internet connection sucks. But back to Pot Labs. They've put out a roadmap of projects and deadlines. I mentioned it last week, and this week let's look at what they have planned for this month. First off, they're working on a professional marketing video. I'm not sure what that means or where it'll be, but media attention is always good. Also, they're doing a banner ad campaign for Pot Wallet, hosting PotCoin giveaways, and updating the code for PotWallet. All of these goals seem doable for this month, and if they don't get done, we know who to complain to. I think it's great that Pot Labs is putting their name out there and taking accountability for their claims. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the police are not allowed to extend a citizen's detention during a normal traffic stop while officers probe for evidence of crimes unrelated to the offense that prompted the initial stop. This means they cannot detain you to wait for a drug-sniffing dog, among other violations of your freedom. This came up in the case of Rodriguez versus the U.S. This guy was driving like a jackass and got pulled over. The cop gave him a warning. But then, after the interaction was over, he was forced to wait for a drug dog. There was no reasonable suspicion to detain him, but the cop did anyway. When the dog finally arrived, it found some meth in his vehicle. So yeah, the cop was correct in suspecting him. But the issue was over whether it was reasonable to detain him longer than needed to deal with the initial offense. The answer was a giant fuck you to the cops when 6 out of 9 Supreme Court justices said no, cops can't detain you for anything unrelated to the initial stop. This ruling has set a major legal precedent for the entire country. Bitcoin is for criminals, and not just the ransomware, crypto locker hackers, or the online drug dealers. Real criminals are going hard on Bitcoin now. Goldman Sachs, one of the most profitable criminal organizations in the world, has recently invested tens of millions into Circle, a Bitcoin exchange and wallet service. Circle raised about $50 million in its last funding round. Investors included the China-based IDG Capital Partners, as well as all of Circle's pool of existing investors, but the majority of it came from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has stolen billions from investors over the past decade, and even after getting busted multiple times, all they got was a slap on the wrist with a few million in fines. Having a criminal organization sanctioned and even subsidized by the government is the best way to ensure sustainability. Now that they want to get into Bitcoin, they'll have a vested interest in seeing the price go up. Also, since they own most of the government, they'll have the most influence over regulations involving Bitcoin. This could go either way. Regulations might loosen or they might get much worse. I think it's the latter, since the best way to stay in business is to prevent competition and to form a monopoly. With very strict regulations, only the largest players will be able to stay in the game, and it'll be practically impossible for newcomers to break in. And although I think this is the direction regulation will go, I'm not worried, since they can't actually control Bitcoin the way that they control the dollar. So either way, this is good news for Bitcoin. That's it for this edition of Mad PotCoins. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.